Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Just getting my camera set up. This was recorded just a few days ago. This was my last jump rope session during a trip to South Korea. I arrived in Ireland late last night, so I'll be recording jump rope videos in Ireland, and I look forward to hopefully meeting other jump ropers in Korea. I will try to arrange some jump rope meetups in Ireland. So if you live in Ireland, for example, and you're currently watching this video, drop a comment down below, maybe suggest where you live. And I was thinking a good meetup place might be the capital city of Dublin. So we could meet up in Dublin and maybe jump rope, do a little bit of exercise and talk with one another. So that could be cool, a Dublin or an Ireland jump rope group meetup. So today's jump rope session was quite relatively easy, very moderate intensity. So this is a great follow-along workout if you're a beginner. And I'll just provide some commentary throughout. So at the moment, what I'm doing here is some rotator cuff movements just to warm up the shoulders. So you can see I've got my upper arm against the side of my body. The forearm is angled at a 90-degree angle, and keeping the elbow against the side of my body, I'm simply moving my arm in and out, which works the rotator cuff of the shoulder. So this is just a very simple movement to warm up the rotator cuff, to strengthen the rotator cuff, and to prevent shoulder injuries. So you can do this with a light dumbbell if you want. Hold a dumbbell that's just a few pounds in weight. You don't have to use an excessive amount of weight. And then from there, I just begin by doing a few side swings and then the regular 2-foot hop. So this, as I said, is a great workout if you want to follow along, if you're a beginner. So the moves included in this jump rope session are essentially beginner to moderate. I'm not doing anything too intense, too crazy. So if you're a beginner, you can certainly follow along. For this jump rope workout, I used the half-pound cross rope. And so I just took a little bit of a breather there, shaking out my ankles, shaking out my wrists. So this workout, it was lower intensity because in the days leading up to this, I did quite intense freestyle jump rope workouts. So today, and because I was going to be flying shortly thereafter this workout, I just wanted to get out, kind of move my body around a little bit before showering, but just nothing too intense. Here, this is a great movement that I like to do to warm up my feet, my Achilles tendons, and the ankles of the muscles of my lower legs, just rocking back on the heels and on the toes and balls of my feet. Great movement to warm up the feet and the Achilles tendon and muscles of the lower legs. Now just walking around while swinging the rope a little bit. So you could call this a warm-up or an active recovery. So I did the 2-foot hop, and then I did some ankle rotations. And now I'm just walking around, swinging the rope. Here with my left hand, and then also with my right hand, as I'm doing now. Before going back into some hops. Here again, this is the regular 2-foot hop. So if you're a beginner, you could certainly do this jump rope move, or this might be one of the first moves that you learn as a beginner. And as I said, I'm using the cross rope, half-pound rope here. I've got discount codes to cross rope jump ropes and gear down below, thanks to the founder, Dave Hunt, and his team. So if you're interested in trying out cross ropes, you can try them out at a discount. And the shoes that I'm wearing, I've gotten so much attention wearing these shoes in Korea. A lot of people are so curious because they're an unusual looking shoe. especially if you haven't seen kind of a 5-finger shoe before. Their new version of minimalist shoe called Paluva. I've got a discount code down below as well. Unfortunately, they only ship internationally at the moment they only ship to America at the moment, but hopefully in the future they'll be shipping internationally. They're an awesome minimalist shoe. So after the 2-foot hops, just to relax my feet, relax my legs, slow down my breathing again, I'm just doing some gentle, active recovery, walking around while swinging the rope. So as I said, if you're a beginner, maybe a moderate jump roper, you could certainly do this jump rope workout. You could follow along. Do some side swings. And now into the boxer skip, shifting my weight from one foot to the other. If you search my channel, boxer skip, lots of tutorials will come up for this basic boxer skip, as well as several other commonly performed jump rope moves by boxers. So as you can see here, the area where I'm jumping rope is quite open. So I certainly make use of space. I jumped rope in this area for about 2 weeks, and I had so much open space. So while jumping around, I moved around all the time. I made use of space. In Ireland now, I believe the accommodation where we will be living for the next year will be more limited on space. So I may even consider jumping rope on a mat to help preserve the cross ropes. But if I move to a different location and there's open space, I will still jump rope in my kind of usual style, move around, make use of space while skipping. I only started experimenting with cross ropes only a couple months ago, but I'm really enjoying them. The cross rope team reached out to me, sent me some ropes, and I've been using them, really enjoying them. And if you're willing to spend a little bit more money on jump ropes, they're certainly a good investment. But because they do cost that much more, using them with a jump rope mat is not a bad idea. And that's something I've often said in videos. When I used to jump rope, say with PVC jump ropes, because the ropes were so cheap, I didn't care if they got damaged. And because concrete was so versatile, it was like essentially everywhere. I would just jump rope on flat concrete, flat surfaces. I didn't need to worry about a rope, worry about a mat, worry about protecting the rope, because if the rope got damaged, I could easily replace it. But if you're using a more expensive rope, I've always said that a jumping rope on a mat does make sense. Not necessarily to protect your joints or anything like that, but just to preserve the life of the rope. But still, when I jump rope, I do like making use of space. I like moving around, going forwards, backwards, from side to side, diagonally. And a lot of professional boxers, they do the same. They make use of space. They don't stay in the same place. But if you do buy a more expensive rope, it can make sense to jump rope in a more stationary sense, staying in the same place. Here, I'm doing the jog step. Staying light on the toes and balls of my feet, not jumping too high off the ground, trying to land on the ground with minimal impact. And here, I'm going forwards and backwards as I perform this jog step, which adds an element of complexity and an element of challenge. So you could do the same. You can take any jump rope move and you do it while moving forwards and backwards. It's going to make the move more challenging in terms of coordination. So notice I'm not spinning the rope particularly fast, but the fact that I'm using a heavier rope, a 1/2-pound rope, makes it that much more challenging. Some active recovery. Spinning the rope using both my left hand and my right hand. So spinning the rope, turning my body at the same time. Here using my right hand, now my left. So you could call this active recovery and just having a little bit of fun spinning the rope. instead of coming to a complete stop in between jump rope moves. I'm just walking around. Oftentimes I'll walk around backwards. Here I'm just going with the flow, whatever feels comfortable, walking forwards, turning my body backwards before continuing to jump rope. And here is a variation of the jog step. I'm throwing in an additional hop on each leg, or additional hops on each leg in between the basic jog step. So I am doing the jog step, but as opposed to just doing alternate hops, your left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, I throw in maybe one additional hop or additional hops on the right foot or left foot whenever I feel like it. This is a great move to give each leg a momentary rest. So during this jump rope workout, or on this particular day, many people walked by while I was recording. So this was a nice gentleman who I talked with later on during the workout. He was giving me some words of encouragement there. I talked with him later on again. He was admiring the shoes in particular. You'll see that footage at the end of the video. But while I wasn't recording, many people walked over and were interested in jumping rope, actually. So I got talking to a few people about jumping rope, many of whom hadn't jumped rope since they were a kid. And the sound of the rope when I was doing double unders and triple unders, it kind of piqued their interest in starting or trying to jump rope again. So that was very cool. They asked me which ropes I was using on this particular day. I told them cross ropes. I did say they were a bit more expensive. But I did tell them that, I highly recommend if you're a beginner and you just want to start learning how to jump rope again, just buy a basic PVC jump rope or maybe a beaded jump rope, just a cheap jump rope, just to try the activity again, see if you like it. And then, of course, if you're interested in investing more money into jump ropes, then you could consider something like a cross rope, for example. You see there in the front view, I have a 1/4 pound cross rope as well. I often have an extra jump rope or several jump ropes with me when I jump rope, not only in case one snaps, so in the case of PVC ropes, in case they snap or they break, but also in case others want to try jumping rope right alongside with me when I jump rope. So I always have a few with me. And here I'm doing a more advanced jump rope move, say a moderate jump rope move. This is a move which is very common with boxers. It's like almost like a can kick. You bring the foot behind your body before kicking it out in front of your body. And I have a tutorial video on this move. If you search can, CAN-CAN, boxers move, this should come up. A very popular move with boxers like Gennady Golovkin, Bernard Hopkins, Canelo Alvarez. One of my favorite former boxers, the Puerto Rican boxer Miguel Cotto. This is a great move for shaking out each leg. So when you do the little heel kick at the front there, that leg is getting a bit of a shakeout, which can help reduce fatigue. So similarly, I'm doing this move while moving forwards and backwards. And now just a little bit of active recovery. Again, spinning the rope while moving around. Just a little bit of fun, a little bit of active recovery. Instead of coming to a complete stop, just moving the rope around, having a little bit of fun, keeping my body active while listening to the sound of the rope and enjoying the surroundings, the view. You can see here where I am, there's tons of mountains in the background. South Korea is a great country for mountains. It's very mountainous, very beautiful. On this day, it actually rained quite a bit, so you can see in the background on the left there's quite a few clouds. And despite the rain, I stayed out jumping rope later on. because this is a 1/2 pound rope, even simply spinning the rope around like this, you definitely can feel it in your arms, in your shoulders. Bit of wind on this day too, so sometimes when I'm spinning the rope around, the wind carry the rope towards my body. Sometimes it hit my leg or my foot, but no big deal. You just brush yourself off, just continue as if nothing happened and get going again. Here again, I begin with the basic 2-foot hop, but then I up the intensity a little bit with, I believe, was it 10 or 20 double unders? 10 double unders, I believe, there, before going back into the boxer skip. And then I do another set of 10 double unders, and then back to the boxer skip before doing another set of 10 double unders. So just upping the intensity just slightly. 10 double unders, and then I slow down the intensity, slow down my breathing by doing the basic boxer skip, which you are seeing here now. All the while trying to breathe gently and effortlessly, doing nasal breathing. That is breathing in and out using my nose. If you want to learn how to do double unders, I've got several double under tutorial videos on my jump rope channel. If you check down below in one of the playlists, several videos there. I've actually helped people learn how to do double unders who were struggling with them for years, both through videos and face-to-face. A few people in particular who struggled for years learning how to do just a few double unders. Now they're able to do hundreds of them in a row. So it's quite a remarkable achievement and something I'm quite happy with in terms of jump rope instruction. Teaching people who were at the point where they believed that they would never be able to do a decent number of double unders in a row. Now they're doing them in the hundreds. Some of them can do 100 to 200 even backwards, which is quite remarkable. And because they learned how to do those double unders when they thought they couldn't do them, that has increased their level of confidence and self-belief in so many areas of their lives. Here I'm doing another very popular boxer skip move, heel toes. I've got a tutorial video, several tutorial videos on heel toe moves, heel toe combinations in my boxer jump rope playlist down below. So you guys are doing great if you're following along. We're at the 18-minute mark of this video. We've got a few more minutes. So I set my timer for just over 21 minutes. And when that rang, the footage automatically stopped recording. But if you're following along so far, you're doing great. It's the heel toes, boxer's heel toe jump rope move, which is a little bit more challenging in terms of coordination. Once you get the hang of it, it's certainly a fun move to do. Again, some active recovery, spinning the rope while walking around. And we see that nice gentleman coming around again here. And I think this is where we might stop and talk a little bit more. He was quite interested in the Paluva barefoot minimalist shoes. So here we were just talking about jumping rope. He said he loves seeing others jump rope. I asked him, can he jump rope? Has he jumped rope? He said he can, but not too well. He hasn't done it in several years. He's encouraging me to continue to jump rope. And then here, you saw him there pointing at the shoes. He's very curious about the shoes. So I was just kind of pointing out the differences with these shoes, the normal maybe shoes that I might wear for jumping rope. These shoes are not only super light, but each toe has its own place. So they really do mimic jumping rope or walking barefoot, where each toe moves freely. And from there, I went into some side swings, the boxer skip, and now side straddles, where you jump over the rope, and while you're jumping over the rope, you move your feet apart, And then when you jump over the rope again, you bring your feet back together again. So this is a beginner jump rope move, but this is an extremely important jump rope move because it's used in more advanced variations, such as diagonal foot crosses and several other jump rope moves. When you're learning how to do the side straddle, again, I have a tutorial video for this on my channel. If you search side straddle, you'll find that. One thing to keep in mind is when you're jumping over the rope, you really do not need to spread your feet too far apart, especially when you're learning how to do this move. The farther you spread your feet apart, that increases the likelihood of the rope getting stuck on your toes or your legs. All the while, jumping gently using the toes and balls of my feet, not jumping too high off the ground. And here where I'm doing the side straddle, I'm doing it moving forwards and backwards to make it a little bit more enjoyable and just to add an element of complexity to make the move a little bit more challenging. Okay, so we've just approached over 21 minutes, and this video will come to an end quite shortly. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you may try some of the moves that you've seen in this video. If you're interested, if you've ever suffered with foot and heel pain, I recently published a book on Amazon called Free from Plantar Fasciitis Forever. I would love it if you check that out. And if you enjoy inspiring stories, I also have a book called Jump Rope Johnny and the Inspiring Mr. P, which is also available on Amazon. Links down below to both those books. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. See you in the next one.